Hi there, this is Dani. The channel is You and Me Living Free, and I am going to give a full update today on what is going on. I have been on the road now for 1 year, traveling back and forth to Kansas City in my minivan camper, and as of April 4th, which I'm making this video a little after that, and then you'll see it after that. You know, it's not in real time, but as of April 4th, that was the last day of my work last year in 2021. Now, early April 2022, I have used my savings to get through this year, a lot of it anyway, and I was over budget on my year because of, well, I did a whole video on why I was over budget as far as the traveling bits, and mostly that was like moving around more than I thought, and more gas than I thought, and going back and forth to Kansas City, high cost of living outside of Kansas City, car maintenance because of those extra miles, things like that. But a lot of why I was over budget too were other reasons that had nothing to do with the travel. That's just life. I had a health concern come up, and I have had dental work, and both of them have literally cost me thousands. So, not fun. But hey, I'm here, I'm healthy, I'm strong, everything's good. It has been a year. Did I actually just start to go down a rabbit trail in my introduction? For heaven's sakes, Dani. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot juggling right now, and I'm going to give you a full update and let you know everything that's happening. First, just a look back, because this year is over. I've used my savings. I've used my freedom very well. The first thing I want to say, honestly, is taking this year off of work, prioritizing spending my savings in this way to have this adventure, instead of putting it toward the nest egg for retirement, or instead of in the many other ways I could have spent it. Spending it in this way was the best thing I could have ever done. This year has been the best year of my whole life. We're going to take out, like kids being born and like really life-changing. Like my kids being born was pretty darn big and all that. But of things that I have just chosen and done myself, this is at the very top. This last year has been the most amazing. I have just grown and done things I never would have thought I could ever possibly do. I've had more adventure. I have lived more life. I've been more vital and more alive and more excited, enthusiastic about life, more optimistic about the future, more tuned in to life, to the universe, to all that is, right? To nature. I have never been so plugged into nature and connecting with it, and all these amazing national parks, and all the nature and everything that I've experienced while boondocking and while camping. It's been the year that I have grown the most as an individual. And I think before that year, it was when my kids were born. It was also the year that I got divorced. Those were big, huge growth years for me. But this has been the year that I have really grown and developed more than any other year. And I think a lot of that is just being in so many new situations and learning so many new things, overcoming so many fears. That kind of growth is just exponential. There's a ton of growth and everything there. And I feel like more fully myself, more fully the person I always was intended to be. I feel more fully that person than I ever have in my entire life. And this is to say nothing of just the sheer gorgeousness, the sheer amazingness of all the stuff that I have seen. I think I'm going to do one video on like my top 5 places, because one thing everyone asks me when I tell them I've been traveling for years, what's your favorite place? And I don't know if I can tell you a favorite place because there's just so many. And another question I get is, well, we know you don't love living in Kansas, so where do you think you'd want to live? And my answer for that is also, I honestly can't think of one place I'd like to live all year round. But I can think of 3 or 4, and I can think of a couple places I would live for like maybe 6 months out of the year or something, and then travel maybe the other 6. So I'm not ready to settle down yet. So after a year of travel and all this amazingness, I'm not ready to settle down. So I'm going to keep traveling. And so the first thing I'm going to do is excuse me, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to work because, you know, I've already mentioned twice that year I had of spending savings and going over budget is over, and it is time to make some income now. And so I have a whole video on getting my first job as a nomad. I'll put the link in the description, and so that you can watch that if you want to. But I am going to be going way up north to northern Minnesota. I am going to be working at a place called DigiKey, and it is like a warehouse job. I'll be pulling like electronic component parts for orders and things like that. And the reason I chose this job, well, there's a lot of reasons why I chose this job. Number one is because I can make a little more money than I could camp hosting or anything like that. This job is $20 an hour, and there's also overtime available, and it's a solid 40 with overtime available. So that what that does for me is it allows me not only to survive and pay bills, but it allows me to put something back. Number one, to build my savings back up from the trip where I was over budget, so I can build up the savings a little bit and then build into a little nest egg so that I can work at DigiKey for 3 or 4 months and then travel another month or 2, then maybe go back to work somewhere else for a few months, and then travel for a couple of months. So that's what I'm planning to do for the next year, and that's how I'm planning for it to go. But who knows, because now that I am officially like a nomad, now that this is like officially my lifestyle, I'm still, of course, figuring it out. And it's different when you're like have a regular job and you have your regular home and your regular apartment, and you pay rent and you have a routine and you do all this, and you know for like the whole year what you're going to be doing because you only have so much vacation time or whatever. This is very much, it's a lifestyle of living way more in the air than that, way more living in possibility and living with less security and less, these are the things I know for sure, right? So there's a whole process of the things I know for sure. That list of things gets smaller and smaller as I travel and as I am in this lifestyle. But I find that I'm okay with that, even though typically I am a person who really, really values and treasures security. But what I was finding is all these things that were giving me security were also tying me down and holding me back and making me feel trapped. And so that's no good, right? So we want freedom. We all want freedom. Even if we live in one place and go to the same job every day, we all want as much freedom as we can have. And so I'm just exploring new levels of freedom that I have never known before, never experienced before. And I want to continue doing that. And I want to continue to have tons of freedom. So I'm a little concerned. Okay, so having this whole year, doing this traveling, meeting amazing people. Did I talk about meeting amazing people? This whole year, having the YouTube channel, meeting subscribers, meeting people in other Facebook groups and stuff who are nomads, meeting other people who have YouTube channels and who I've been watching for years. All the experiences of meeting people at the RTR, meeting Bob. I met Bob a couple of times. And all of that, I mean, all of it changes you. Travel changes you. All the people that you meet and the new friends and everything, those experiences around the campfire, those experiences at national parks, those experiences with me doing hikes and things that I didn't think I could do, and pushing myself, and new accomplishments. All of that I got within this last year. It's amazing all the gifts that I have received in this past year. And so now as I look forward to year number 2, because I am going to continue, as I look forward to year number 2, I really am excited, but also a little apprehensive. So let me tell you about what the deal is right now, like in the immediate future. I'm in my Camry right now. I am headed actually to the dentist, and I'm getting my permanent crown put in today. I literally, as soon as I get my permanent crown put in, I'm going home. I have a few more things to throw in the van, and then I am leaving town because I need to be in Thief River Falls, Minnesota, way up top, by Friday morning at 11:30. I have my orientation, and then Monday morning is when I start my training. So today is Tuesday, and I'm giving myself Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to travel, even though it should be about a 11 or 12 hour drive total. So I should be able to make that in 2 days easy. But Thief River Falls is expected to get 6.5 inches of snow just today in the next 24 hours. And it's supposed to snow and freezing rain continually on and off for the next 3 days. So let's just say this. I'm going to feel a whole lot better once I get there than I do right now, anticipating getting there. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted, and let's do this. I got to go to the dentist first. So let's just hope that goes well, first of all. And that I do get to leave town this morning. All right, I'll give you an update a little later, and let's do this. Let's quit talking about it and get going. All right, before we do that, I have to say thank you to my patrons. You guys, I appreciate you so much. If you are here at the end of the video, I'm sending you a ton of love. I love you. And extra thanks to my patrons. So for as little as $3 a month, you can join us on Patreon. Please do if you're interested at all. We give behind the scenes stuff and real-time stuff. So thanks to Patreon, and thanks to everyone who is there. I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.